global nuclear war. This was an attack on one part of Russia's strategic fleet. And it's extraordinarily dangerous. It may be viewed as a video game, watching planes destroyed, but we took a step closer to nuclear war today. Zelensky, this group in Ukraine, I wouldn't trust for a moment.
When I spoke to President Putin, I had a 2-hour and 15-minute call with him. Sometimes, and this is me speaking maybe in a negative sense, but sometimes you see two young children fighting like crazy. They hate each other and they're fighting in a park. And you try and pull them apart. They don't want to be pulled. Sometimes you're better off letting them fight for a while and then pulling them apart. And I gave that analogy to Putin yesterday. I said, President, maybe you're going to have to keep fighting and suffering a lot because both sides are suffering before you pull them apart, before they're able to be pulled apart.
Russia carries out strikes into Kharkiv and other sites in Ukraine. Operation Spider's Web has actually put the world into the tip of a nuclear escalation. An operation which people are comparing with USA's Pearl Harbor moment can have calamitous consequences. So this Operation Spider's Web was audaciously launched by Ukraine through the help of FPV drones, which hit Russian air bases far into their territory of almost 4,000 kilometers. And actually it attacked 5 air bases and took out almost 41 Russian bombers. Ukraine claims that that is 1/3 of Russia's bomber arsenal. The attack was not only audacious in terms of its impact, but also the way it was perpetrated. And because this attack was carried out with the help of trucks where these drones were concealed and they were set off deep into Russian territory. And thereby it also not only destroyed some bombers, but it also destroyed some critical Russian spy planes. This attack, experts say, can have a very cold and a very gigantic response from Russia. As far as this attack is considered, it actually debunks the notion that rear bases are far secured than the frontline military bases, and actually it also exposed Russia's vulnerability in its rear bases, and overall this attack or operation has resulted to a loss of $7 billion to Russia. So now Ukraine thinks that as far as peace talks are concerned, it is going to be on the same footing as Russia. But as the timing of this attack was when these peace talks were undergoing, Putin has clearly rebutted and said that the peace talks and negotiations would be all based on Russia's wanting. Former President of Russia, Dmitry Medvedev, and the current Deputy Chairman of the Security Council actually clearly stated on Telegram that retribution is inevitable. From Washington is also not good for Zelensky and NATO, and it looks ominous. During his meeting with the German Chancellor Friedrich Merz at the Oval Office, President Donald Trump stated that these two countries should fight on for a little while. This actually also coincides with Zelensky's invitation to the NATO summit, which is going to be held later in June at The Hague. But the main question that is actually plaguing most researchers and experts, that what approach is Russia going to take or as an aftermath of this Operation Spider Web. So many experts believe that Russia is going to stick to an escalated conventional warfare with the help of drones and missiles, which as of now is carrying on. Others also state that if Ukraine carries out any other further attacks, it will not help in terms of its negotiations, but rather increase Putin's resolve and determination to dismantle the Ukrainian state. Overall, this Operation Spider's Web has actually shaken up major military powerhouses like the USA and the India. And this operation also has lessons for India. While India is focusing on strengthening its conventional military arsenal by starting off its own 5th generation fighter jet development project AMCA, and also focusing on making India arms, it also has to focus on developing its own indigenous drone systems for both surveillance and military strikes. At the aftermath of Operation Sindoor, we saw that both India and Pakistan utilizing drone systems. While India was reliant mostly on Israel and Russian drones, Pakistan was reliant on Chinese and Turkish made drones. But during an event of a full-scale war, while Pakistan enjoys easy supply chain routes from Turkey and China, India might have to wait a little bit while long because it depends on Israel and Russia. So as the future of military warfare is taking a paradigm shift, India has to focus on building its own AI-driven drone systems. Also, this operation gave a clear message that there is no scope of complacency even if you are facing off against lesser powerful and military equipped but hostile nations. Because remember, the cost of the FPV drones that were used by Ukraine in this attack were only $500 per drone. So that was all from me in this video. In the comment section, let me know what approaches that India should take to further increase its indigenous drone making capabilities. And also please do like, share and subscribe my channel. Thank you.